Welcome back, mitochondrians, to TheScottSpot. I'm Detective Scott, and you are watching the Parasite Eve EX game Let's Play. Okay, so here we are. I think this is floor 64 that we're ascending up to now. Real quick, I apologize once again for the massive delays between videos. I promise you it's not intentional, it's just like the windows I have to get things done is very small, and this is actually post commentary again, because this is probably like the fourth time I've tried to record commentary for this episode. Of course, I tried to do it live the first time, and then the audio for that Audacity decided to fuck up for no real reason. And the next time I tried to record it, I used the wrong setting on my microphone for some reason. And then the time after that, I somehow had the numbering off on my file names for the episodes, so I re-recorded commentary to an episode I didn't need to. So this is like the fourth attempt. And you can imagine I don't have a lot of time to edit and figure this stuff out, so that's the reason behind the long delay. It didn't even have anything to do with me being lazy or anything, which it never does, to be fair. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to get it right this time, assuming nothing else goes wrong. But yeah, I think the Black Friday ads came out yesterday, or they're starting to trickle out anyway. I know Targets and Best Buys are out, so I'm hoping that I can find a better video editing laptop to put, just so to make this editing process easier, and that way it's not like a huge time commitment to try to edit these things. Even though I usually don't do that much editing, I still like to re-watch them and make sure that I didn't forget anything, or if there's something I need to cut out. Yeah, because it's very tedious on my current laptop, and my current laptop just seems to have gotten worse over the years. But I really want to get back into making these episodes more consistent. So I hope that the people that are subscribed are still interested in the channel and what's going on with these videos and the games. I think it's going to be awesome. But because it's been so long and I've recorded these episodes multiple times, I'm not sure what I have and haven't talked to you guys about. So I'm not sure if I don't want to tell you something that I've already told you twice, because it has been quite a while since the last video came out. Several weeks at least, I think, but maybe a little longer than that. The big thing that's happened since last time I recorded was the election for the U.S. president took place, but I feel like even though that subject is rife for me to tear apart, I could talk about it forever. It's not really my place here, and it's not really relevant at all. Not that anything I talk about ever is relevant. Oh, we got a trap box here, so I'll spare you that conversation. I'm thinking we're going to do a stream soon, so I hope you guys are interested in that. We would probably stream the World of Final Fantasy demo that came out, even though it came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago now. I don't think I want to get into the whole game, just because Corey has still only played 7 and 10 and 13, as well as 10.2 and 13.2. So that would leave out a bunch of the characters that are in that game from past Final Fantasy games out of the equation. He wouldn't have any kind of nostalgia for them, and I know that the game, it kind of tries to cash in on Final Fantasy nostalgia a little bit. But I'm hoping that I might be able to find time to play it by myself. I think as soon as I get done recording this video and possibly editing it, I'm going to see if I can get some time to play it. I've got lots of paid time off for my job that I have accrued over the year that I need to blow before it expires. So I plan on taking like every Friday off for the rest of the year. Not that that's much, but not too bad. I'm trying to think of like other news that has come out. Of course, there's been lots. I did watch Final Fantasy 15 Brotherhood finally with Corey, and it was pretty good. Like I said, I still think it was incredibly lazy of them to not localize it to English, but whatever. Not a big deal. The story was still kind of touching. There hasn't been any Parasite Eve news that I know of. Not that that's surprising to anybody. But yeah, let's see, what else? Oh, I did see, I don't think I've talked about this, or I think I did talk about it, but it was in one of my failed recordings. Oh, so it looks like I finally finished 64 there. That took a while. So this is 65, right? Anyway, I did see Doctor Strange about a week ago, and I have mixed feelings about the movie because I appreciated that it tried to do something a little different from past Marvel movies, but it was still very, very similar to those movies, to most Marvel movies. So the people, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the people that don't know what Doctor Strange is, he's basically like a Marvel superhero that instead of having like superpowers, his power is actually to be able to manipulate like magic, basically. So there's like rituals and incantations and stuff they have to do. But so anyway, the thing that I didn't like, the movie was funny, and like the thing was, it smacked of Iron Man, like asshole learns humility through great powers. You know what I mean? But the other thing that really bothered me about it is he goes from like just being terrible at doing this magic when he starts to train to the very next scene he's like the grand master of it. It's like that part of the story wasn't built up correctly, so every time Doctor Strange was doing something awesome in a scene, I was like, how does he know how to do that already? I know he's supposed to be brilliant, but I wonder if this room is going to be all treasure boxes. I guess we will find out. Boosh, 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 boosh. And ammo plus 30, is there going to be one in this other chest as well? A full cure. And we're out. But yeah, I think the next movie we're going to see, which I think actually comes out in like a week or two, is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which I'm actually been kind of surprised by how many people don't know what this is, but it's like it takes place in the Harry Potter universe, but it's like it takes place in the 1920s, and I won't go into too much of the plot detail, but basically it takes place in New York City. A guy brings a briefcase to America that is full of fantastic beasts, magical creatures, and they escape, and it threatens the wizard's secrecy. If the Muggles were to find out, and look up some trailers. There's some good ones. I'm really excited about it, actually. Feels like it, and it feels like it's been forever since that movie was announced, but here it is. I'm not much. I think I've probably talked about this before, but I'm not much of a movie person to begin with, so it has to be good if it's going to make me go to the theaters, or at least something that I care about. Speaking of things that have been taking forever to come out, can you believe that Final Fantasy 15 is actually next month? That is or not even that next month, I'm sorry, it's like at the end of this month. We only got a couple weeks left, guys. Holy shit, a decade in the making. It's intense. It's hard to believe. It better be fucking good, that's all I gotta say. I know it wasn't in development for 10 years, but what can you do? And up we go. So that was floor 65. That means this next floor should be 66. Let's see if there's anything interesting on this floor. Seems doubtful. I don't want to already be making this comment when I know that this floor, we actually got a floor 67 in this video, but sorry about like my thought stream method of commenting here, because I've talked about this before many times I think now, but there's just not much to say about what's actually happening on the screen, so I have to fill the air with other things. Been listening to lots of podcasts lately. One would be the Serial podcast, which I think is supposed to be like one of the most popular podcasts of all time to my understanding. That was really good. Kind of reminded me of Making a Murderer, even though I didn't like that show. But that was really interesting. I recommend it if you were going to listen to podcasts. And then the others I listen to are like, there's Ultima Final Fantasy, which is like a very lewd / crude version of a Final Fantasy podcast ran by these two guys who are just hilarious with great chemistry, but also kind of immature, or at least they act like it. And then we go this way. Oh, I already found the storage room. And there's all the Harry Potter ones like Mugglecast and Alohomora. But yeah, I've really gotten into podcasts lately. I barely listen to music in the car anymore. Or if I'm grocery shopping, I'll listen to podcasts. I've been wondering if I want to get into audiobooks, but I feel like I'm usually doing something else when I listen to podcasts, so it's not a big deal if I miss something from the podcast, but if I miss pieces of a book, that's bad. The NES Mini, Classic Mini, whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about. It's like a handheld, the Famous. That makes me think of Metal Gear Solid. Makes me think of I was talking about the NES Classic. So that thing, it just came out on Amazon. I tried to get it, but the page wasn't working right, and I don't care enough to like sit there and refresh over and over again. Most of the games that are on NES that I would really want to play can already be played on Wii U anyway. Which I was kind of surprised. Like, I get that the appeal of the NES Classic, it is really cool, but the Virtual Console exists, so I don't really get that, what the big hubbub is. Especially, I've heard that the controller is like 3 feet, so you're gonna have to be sitting in the floor unless you live in a small room, which is possible, I guess. Of course, you could always buy a third-party wireless controller, but I can't. That seems like a huge oversight on Nintendo's part. But anyway, I'm sure I will buy an NES Classic. Corey seems to really want it. Ooh, that might be a great gift idea for him. Of course, then he might say that I got it so I could play it. To be honest, though, like, it's hard for me to go back and play some NES games these days. There are some cool ones. I mean, they are great. There are lots of great games on the NES, but it's like when I play them now, I'm like, I could be playing the cooler version on a later system. Like, for example, it's hard to go back to the original Super Mario Brothers for me, I think. I can still beat it, but it's like, well, if I want to play a 2D Mario, there's Super Mario World, or several other great options. And then if The Legend of Zelda, that game's very hard compared to other Zeldas. It's like, why play that when you could play, like, one of the Oracle games, or even Link to the Past. Which I know Link to the Past is one of the greatest Zelda games of all time, but it just doesn't intrigue me. As well, I mean, I still think it's a good game. I finished it and everything, but I think just in general, I'm not a big fan of the 2D Zeldas. And then who plays Final Fantasy 1? Because, or especially the original NES version, who would play that when there's like the Dawn of Souls version? I guess OG people would. Of course, there are some of the Mega Mans on there, I think. I think another huge missed opportunity with that was that they don't have any kind of internet connectivity. Like, it would be perfect if it let you connect to the eShop and just download like any of the NES games that are on the Virtual Console. Don't get it. And there are also some glaring missing titles. I mean, there's 30 games on there, so I guess beggars can't be choosers, but still. Got it. Is this the 67th floor yet? I haven't been keeping track, to be honest. This looks like a dead end. I wonder if past Scott got lost here. It could be. Oh, also, this happened last night. I finally finished, for the most part, grinding out so many spheres and shit in Final Fantasy X HD. And so now I've just started using the AP trick to get lots of sphere levels fast. So I just need to finish leveling my characters, and then I'll do a video to show you guys how to do the AP trick, and then we'll be able to continue on with the game. Thank God. Range +2, and A defense +1. Stat boosts are always nice, even if it's only +1. Oh, Corey and I also started playing Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga recently. We're playing the 2-player version, which I don't know if a lot of people know this, but in that game, if you have a second controller plugged in, you could also the second player can control Luigi. Well, it's more like you both get control input at the same time, but it is possible to make that like a co-op game. So that's really cool. I'm trying to figure out. Well, I don't have the maps laid out in front of me, but I wonder if Scott knew where he was going here. I think this is the 67th floor. I may have miscounted, but I think that's like the 4th storage room we've seen Aya go in. And that squirrel's got some HP on him. Boom. Boom. Don't want to take the medicines, of course. Is medicine? Is it medicines? Is not a word, is it? It's medicine. And then what next? Yeah, I really want to play. I think I'm gonna start World of Final Fantasy as soon as I finish this. I'm really excited, actually. The game looks good. The characters look kind of annoying, and the art design's questionable. But the game is supposed to be really fun to play. And I thought the trailers, well, some of the trailers made it look cool. I think I actually remember this map now that I'm looking at it. I could be wrong. But I think after we go right, we're going to have to go right another couple screens and then turn up. That's bad. The things the memory can recall. Alright, what's over here? Yes. There might be another right screen here, but if not, it's going to be an upturn. Oh, well. Let's see, what else have I neglected to tell you guys lately? Oh, I ordered a Waluigi and a Boo amiibo because it's Waluigi time. And I like Boos, and the fact that it's glow in the dark is awesome. Boos are one of the more memorable, well-known creatures from the Mario games. So I do already had the next video for this recorded and edited, but like I said, I've been waiting on this one. So after I upload this one, the next one, just got to do the next 10 floors, 17 floors, and then we'll be done with this Let's Play, and then we can move on to greener pastures. Yeah, and sorry we haven't streamed lately, but it's just been very hectic, and yeah. It's funny how life turns out sometimes. It's like there's literally not enough time in the day. But it looks like Scott stopped, so that must mean that this is the end of the episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry again about the massive delay and this being post-commentary. Things should be back to normal next episode. I'm Detective Scott. Thanks, mitochondrians, for hanging out with me at TheScottSpot. I will catch you guys next time for more. Thanks.